You can actually create your own financial independence. When you get there, make sure that money is working for you.
You have to work smart. And this is another cliche word. So to make it bullet point, if you don't have a stock account, or you don't own real estate, or you don't have you contribute to a mutual fund, I don't know what you're doing with your money. If you are born poor, it's not your fault. If you die poor, it is your fault. If your lifestyle or your financial life is not compounding, that means you are not doing things right.
Financial freedom helps you manage the anxiety of navigating these cycles, which we are now facing as a generation.
Put your money with the companies that the earth will be disturbed if they disappear.
One of Warren Buffett's rules is only invest in what you understand. If you are saving and that is your saving plan and your budget for lunch is 100 dirhams, tell your friends that's my budget.
Nobody will come and give you like that lottery ticket in order for you to become a millionaire. The decision is with your hands. If you don't do it, nobody
else will do it. Good morning, Sinan.
Good morning.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Empowerment Exchange podcast. It is my pleasure to have you here. My name is Eghosa Oriaikhi. I am the founder of CME, an organization that is geared towards providing mentorship and coaching for ambitious people who are looking to achieve their full potential. Today, I have with me Dr. Sinan Al-Sheikh, who is a very good friend and a business associate who I respect greatly. And our topic today is effectively a very interesting conversation about creating generational wealth and how to make your money work for you.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for being here. So, Dr. Sinan, let's start with introductions. Maybe you can give me a little bit of background as to how you became Dr. Sinan, because...
Good question.
Yeah. Who is Dr. Sinan?
How I became a Dr. Sinan is a long story, but I can make it very short. It's because of my wife and my parents. I did not plan for it, but both of them pushed me for it. I was doing exactly what a PhD student would do, but I was doing it for my entertainment. So I just registered in a university, and I kept going. So I hold a PhD degree in data mining.
Okay.
And before I get a PhD, I was publishing in conferences and journals. So I said, why not? Let's register. So I became a doctor. I'm not a physician in a hospital, but my field of IT is in healthcare. So I'm a healthcare director in a company called Cognizant.
Okay.
Previously, I spent 15 years in IBM as an associate partner. And that's in short.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sure my guests are probably wondering by now why someone with a background in IT and a PhD in data mining is a guest talking about generational wealth and creating financial freedom to allow us, find time to, probably focus on our purpose and focus on self-development. So just help me understand. I know why I brought you here as a guest, and maybe I should give some insight. So over the years, I've become very impressed with two things. The first one is your absolute dedication and support for female talent and helping women across board, whether it's in corporate or in business, with whatever skills you can bring to the table to achieve their full potential. I have to say you are one of sort of rare gem in that space. The second thing for me, which I've also become very impressed over the years, is how much of a believer you are in using the tools that you have, which I think are excellent, to advise and mentor around women who are very successful and making sure that, one, they understand how to make sure their money is working for them. Two, they understand how to invest their money, but also making sure that that investment is creating compounded value that is effectively driving generational wealth. And that generational wealth creates real freedom, and that freedom of time allows one to pursue their passions and continue to achieve their full potential. So can you just help me understand, first of all, why are you such a supporter of female talent?
Oh, that goes back to almost my university days. I volunteer a lot.
Okay.
And I'm since university, I volunteer for an organization called IEEE and an affiliate group called Women in Engineering. At that time, I was the only male in the Women in Engineering.
Oh, wow.
Believe it or not. But the idea of it is to empower women to get into engineering. Simple thing. the number of women in engineering decreased over time, and the cause was unknown. But we worked on the fact that you should empower women to get into subjects such as electrical engineering, computer engineering, civil engineering, and that idea started from there, or that passion. I have 3 sisters, and we had all kind of experiences at home. They just need a push. That's it. They get into that complex subject. I told you the story of my sister. She scored full in math.
Yeah.
But because of small things we do at home, when we go to a supermarket, she doesn't count the money. Like, she give me the money to count after she pays. So I stopped. Like, why?
Yes.
You are top A student in math. And I found out that it's just a habit that we developed unconsciously,
Yes.
that made her lack the confidence in herself. So small things you tweak around your sisters, your wives, your daughters, that increase the confidence. Years after years, pushing women to get into engineering became into pushing women to get more senior jobs, get
Yes.
more roles, significant roles in a company. Then now I'm pushing them to be financially independent. Why? Like, they should be strong,
Yes.
honestly speaking. So, yeah.
Look, I mean, clearly you're very passionate. I can feel the passion. I know you are passionate because we spend a lot of time talking about this, even had some personal discussions. There are 2 things that you've said which I love. The first one is, let's talk a little bit about family settings and where some of these things come from. The other one is exactly what CIMI as an organization is built to achieve, which is there are people who are extremely talented. There are people who are extremely gifted, and, whether it's intellectually in the corporate side or in the business world, and oftentimes just need someone to guide them in how to reach that full potential. Or sometimes just someone to encourage and to mentor, to say, you can actually do this, like you mentioned for your sister. So that's one. And we need more mentors. And I know you'll be joining the CIMI platform as a mentor. So I look forward to our members reaching out to you to talk about different topics. And then the second point, which you just raised in your last discussion, was this issue about the role of females and finance growing up. Now, I know things have changed and we're probably going to generalize a bit and it may not apply to everyone, but on a general scale, we know that when women start making a lot of money, there are a lot more resources or a lot less resources to help them understand how to invest and multiply this money and what to do and how to do it, actually. So I really hope today's discussion is very practical, that will leave our members with practical tools on what to do and how to really achieve this sort of compound growth of your finances and financial wellness, really, and what financial wellness should actually do and mean for you. So maybe we should just talk a little bit about the biases and some of the issues. Like, I know for a fact, when I grew up, it was more likely for the male child to be shown the family health insurance policy, the life insurance policy, where the will is located for the parents, what assets are, and even just some of the traditional inheritance policies or rules within our cultures and our families. It meant that we didn't always take time to sit our daughters down and our girls down to say, 1, you can actually create your own financial independence. And 2, when you get there, make sure that money is working for you. So let's maybe just talk a little bit about some of these dynamics.
Well, you mentioned, you touched base on multiple important points. I'll start with the compounding.
Yeah.
You have to teach your sisters, your daughters. I have 3 sisters, 1 daughter, and a wife. I make sure that all of them are, from a financial point of view, have the same knowledge that I have.
Okay.
And I even I opened a stock account for my wife. She said, okay, can you buy for me? I said, no, you buy for yourself. It's like, put the money here, click here, do this. And it's like, she said, done? Yes, done. It's simple. And next month, you buy for me. It's like, stop it. I'm not doing it again. You have to do it. Just 2 weeks ago, she was sitting with a group of her friends. None of them knows how to actually buy stocks.
No.
None of them.
You're kidding me.
Same education, same background. She called me driving back. She said like, thank you. It's like, why? It's like, really, I have goosebumps.
Wow.
She said, I did not understand why you kept pushing me to do something so simple until today. And we are 9 years married, okay?
Took a long time for her to catch up.
No, like it was a side joke. but literally, she said, I'm the only one on the table who knows how stock market works. It's like,
amazing.
Why? Now she understands. I did the same with my sisters. One of them actually kept like paid attention. The others like, oh, so now they are married, they have kids. But that one who paid attention, she also understands the full cycle of stock market or real estate. She have an account on Amazon. She's a publisher, graphic designer. She designed a book, 300 pages for kids. Okay,
yes.
How to teach kids Arabic. I stopped everything. Listen, you know me. I work 25 hours a day.
Yes.
At that time, I stopped everything. I was like, she's in Australia. I opened the call with her, like, what's your plan to succeed? She said, like, I will go to the school. Like, she was talking about the old way of selling products and stuff. It's like, no, stop. Let me show you something.
Wow.
And I showed her the Amazon FBA.
Yes.
I told her, like, do you know of this? She said, no. I explained the big picture for her, and I went to my daily business. After like 2 days, she called me like, what does this mean? What does that mean? And she kept growing from there. And every time she asked for help, literally, whatever I have, I just stop it.
Sure.
Give her like half an hour or 1 hour, and she is very successful on Amazon.
Indeed. Wow.
She designed another product.
I have goosebumps.
It's just like enabling them.
Yeah.
Showing them the way.
Yeah.
Like, don't go here, go there because of this and this and that. It's just like 1 hour.
Amazing.
My mom, the same thing. I might not have told you that. My mom, she retired. She's a physics teacher, but she cannot stay without work. So she started recording physics classes on YouTube. I told her, like, this is how you do it. This is what you need to do. Like all the kids, we bought her the set at home, microphone and a tablet.
Yes.
She's a 73 years old. She still publish on YouTube. Wow. She have more than 10 million views overall, 3,500 videos. She says, I taught her how to do that. I don't recall, but I was just opening the doors.
Yes,
it's like,
yes.
She have the energy. She have the time. I spent that 1 hour with her. If you want to do this, do it this way. I was proud to know from a stranger that your mom videos are being projected in my class to teach physics.
Way.
I swear to God.
That's amazing.
I swear to God.
Look, I have to tell you something, Sinan, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
For me, what you just explained is the definition of coaching someone. Because I think somehow professional people think we need to go sign up for some very expensive program, commit to 1 year. All the examples you gave, you said, I sat with someone for half an hour. I sat with someone for 1 hour. And it was about a specific topic. And then when they overcame that, they came back and asked another question. And I spent another half an hour. I mean, even this example you gave about women who don't have investment accounts, and even for those who may have signed up, don't know how to use it properly or don't know how to effectively make it work for them. That's a half-hour mentoring session. Someone can reach out to you on the CME platform, connect with you, ask some questions. You show them some practical examples of how to do it. They try, and then they come back again and ask some more questions. So you have defined the entire ethos of how CME works. And I hope that people will enjoy spending time with you as they reach out to you to get some coaching sessions.
Anytime.
Look, let's talk a little bit about what you mentioned with your sister and publishing, your mom and the physics classes. So we all know that these things are passion projects, but they're meant to be monetized. And the money they make from that, then what do you do with the money? What next?
Good question.
That money should work for you.
Yes. Now I'm mainly focused on compounding.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, like, we were raised that you have to work hard to earn the dollar you are making. Apparently, after all those years, no, it's not true. You have to work smart. And this is another cliche word. So to make it bullet point, if you don't have a stock account, or you don't own real estate, or you don't have like you contribute to a mutual fund,
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing with your money.
Okay.
Honestly speaking.
Shopping?
Maybe.
No, but it's true. We laugh, but women are targeted to glamorize their lives. Buy handbags, buy expensive shoes. No, but nobody then says do it when you have residual income.
Yes.
The advertisements don't come with do it with your residual income. Right?
Exactly. So like they earn the salary and they spend the salary.
Absolutely.
The formula should be changed a little bit. Like you earn your salary day one. The maximum percentage of your salary, you should take it and put it in an investment account.
Sure.
And there are 3 rules to do it. You follow those 3 rules, you are bulletproof. You put that salary or that percentage in an investment account. Let's say don't plan a year, plan 10 years, 15 years. Then go buy any bag you want. Literally, like the amount you take out of that account will be built up within days. So if you bought a whatever bag you think of, within a week that will be paid off.
But this is not a case of I put 10,000 in my savings and I withdraw the 10,000. That's not saving.
No, not saving.
And it's also not I put 10,000, I now have 1,000 and I withdraw the 1,000.
You want bullet points?
There's no compounding, right?
No, it's not compounding. Yes.
I think what we need to understand here is, we have a problem generationally. And I feel it honestly. I remember someone once saying to me, when you think about the way women are targeted with adverts, it's almost this go get a high-flying job so that this high-flying salary gets you a nice life, a car, where you live. They didn't ask you if you own the house, just where you live. Okay, yes. So maybe you're renting this super expensive apartment that, you could probably live somewhere else and buy all these things. But no one has said, are you in a sustainable investment cycle? Is the money that you're spending completely less than the capital that you have maintained and you are growing plus the return on the capital? So making sure that your money is compounding. We don't put the equation together. And I think young women, even some, I would say professional senior women, need to be told that, because we often think that the increased earnings should accelerate the glamour of the lifestyle, the big holidays, going from flying economy to premium to business to first, to the expensive hotels, to constantly dining out and brunching out. And this very sort of, social media star lifestyle. But that's not how you create generational wealth. Now, if you luckily come from a family of millionaires and billionaires and you're living off your trust fund, then I don't begrudge you for that, right? But if you are the typical day-to-day person who is a member of CME, then this is a worthy conversation to be had. Absolutely.
True. The saying that if you are born poor, it's not your fault. If you die poor, it is your fault.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. So listen, if you just read about compounding, okay, the internet is there, just like how to do compounding. I wish if I have an Excel sheet, I will show it to you in like 5 minutes. Just check compounding. Anybody who's listening to us, just check how to do compounding. If your lifestyle or your financial life is not compounding, that means you are not doing things right. Believe it or not, first salary I got, I bought a small shop.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I kept paying it off for like around 10 months. This is what I knew at that time. I was eager to hustle. I worked for IBM at that time, and I had a side hustle. Then I bought another shop, 6 of them. But that was wrong. Absolutely wrong. I'm not saying like opening a business is wrong. Not at all.
Sure.
But if you are full-time there, yes. But if you have a full-time job and you want to hustle, there are a smart way of doing it.
Okay.
After 9 years, I got introduced to like compounding. By the way, I had a mentor at that time, professional mentor.
Yes.
We used to talk like once a month, like almost 12 times a year.
Wow.
And I was transparent.
Yes.
Like everything, not only professional,
yes.
even like my education, my studies, everything.
Yeah.
And then I came across like this compounding. I told him like, do you know about it? It's like, yes, I'm doing it 27 years.
So why didn't he tell you?
And why didn't you say so?
Yes, why
I said,
didn't he tell you?
I thought it's common knowledge. Like,
No.
Then he said, okay, next session, I'll show you everything I have done.
Wow.
He opened his Excel sheet, 27 years worth of Excel sheet. He said, I've done this. This year, I was conservative at that time, and I regret it. You are young. Don't do my mistake. I followed his instructions. Then my wife bought me this intelligent investor book, 600 page. He said, like, this is your birthday gift. I don't know if gift for me or for her, but like, make money for us. That intelligent investor book sum it up nicely. Out of the book, there are 3 rules. If you follow them, you are in good hands, honestly. I'm not going to say bulletproof, but you are really on the right track. I'm following that since 9 years. They work really nice. And I'm not keeping the knowledge with
to
me.
Yourself. You share it,
Any person I care about, I share.
You're very generous with it,
And I mentor a lot of people in the company. They think that I should mentor them like professionally, like about their career. After we developed the first session, second session, I said, like, come, let's have coffee, open the Excel sheet. Everybody have the same reaction, except one. He's 23 years old. He taught me new stuff. Seriously.
That's reverse mentoring.
Exactly.
That's good.
But I got it when I was like in my 30s and he's 23. Wow. He said, like, Sinan, what you told me, I have it in my family as common knowledge.
Wow.
And let me show you what we have else.
Yes.
So knowledge is nice. If I have an apple and I give you, both of us have 1 apple. But if I have an idea and I give you, both of us have 2 ideas. It's like, share the knowledge. Why are you keeping it to yourself? So this is where I as I told you, 9 years I'm hustling, okay? And after 9 years, I got to know this compounding. Some people might be watching us who say, like, okay, it's too late, it's common knowledge. Okay, you are on the good side of the word, but not everybody around you have the same knowledge. So spread it. Make sure your friends know it. Make sure that your daughters...
Look, let's be honest, right? I think we could also say that some of this is a privileged conversation. There are people whose basic salary barely covers their day-to-day requirements of life. But there are three things that I've noticed. The first one is mindset. What's up here? Mindset, what's up here? And behavior.
Mindset.
Because I've seen people who have gone from saying, well, I may not have enough. I'm going to make lifestyle adjustments to still spend below what I have so that I can invest the rest. Okay. So mindset and behavior is one. The other one is understanding. So this knowledge that you're talking about, go get yourself knowledge. And the last one for me is commitment. Once you have the knowledge and the know-how on creating financial independence, you have to be committed to it. You can't start then stop. Now, there are all these common things about, emergency funds, so that if you run into an emergency, it doesn't derail you from your path. These are all very good points. But I think holistically, the biggest thing is probably conquering the mindset, right?
Sure.
Because, you read all these rules, save 10%, invest this percent. It doesn't even have to be a percent. It just has to be simple behavioral changes and a commitment with the knowledge you have, whether it's that you want to go into real estate. So now with your bonus, you buy a small property somewhere. That property actually creates income for you. How do you do that? Does it have to always be stock accounts? It doesn't have to always be stock accounts.
It's the easiest.
It's the easiest, but I want people to understand it doesn't always have to be only stock accounts. There are other ways to create financial independence and compound your money.
I like to be more discreet in my answer.
Sure.
Okay. You are absolutely right. There are multiple segments in the society.
Yes.
Okay. There are people ultra wealthy.
Yes.
The equation is different there. And there are people that are barely making their day-to-day expenses.
For example, graduates, we're talking, and this for us is our young members who have just come out of university, school loans, school debt, first job, salary is not that big.
Yes.
And the more senior execs, more senior salaries, probably with families, kids, more outgoings. And it's being able to balance the spectrum of the membership, right? And the advice that we give them.
You'll be surprised. Hear this one. The segment we are talking about, if you can spare $100, just like $100, then you are the target audience we are talking about.
There you go.
$100 a month.
A month, okay.
Or more. Okay. I'm not gonna say like below, but like $100 is a decent amount.
Sure.
simple equation. If you spare $100 a month when you are 20 years old and you saved it every month for 10 years until 30, then I don't want your $100. If you keep them in an S&P 500 portfolio, which is very conservative, okay? When you are 60, you have $1 million.
Wow.
I'm not asking for more, but the equation
Just $100.
works. Just $100.
That's simple.
That's simple.
But the challenging part, the person will say, where's the S&P 500? Where do I?
You have to start reading.
There you go.
Okay, this is the knowledge that you don't.
This is now the knowledge part. Yes,
this is the knowledge part.
Yes.
Exactly. Listen, I have master's, PhD, and I'm doing like I have a patent and published. The amount of knowledge I acquired after opening my stock account is unbelievable. For 2 years, I started just learning. But every time I learn something, it's like, why didn't they teach us
in
this?
school how to pay our taxes?
Yes.
How to invest, like the practical things. Well, I mean, these degrees. Let's not get into degrees and the things that need to be changed.
At this moment, I got to know that the school is not meant for you to acquire knowledge.
Right.
The school is an exercise for your brain.
Okay.
And focus on this one. 12 years school, we've learned everything. 4 years university, couple of years masters, couple of years PhD. If you have the energy to read, to do it, it's not meant for you to acquire knowledge. It's just like you going to the gym. The gym, you exercise your muscles. School, you exercise your brain muscles. It's just like for you to have a stronger way of understanding, comprehending things.
Right.
I've learned this now, that the school is not meant for you to learn or to acquire knowledge. Everybody say like, if I study this, how am I going to apply it in my work or my practical life? Who said you have to? I've studied biology, I've studied physics, I've studied all kind of subjects. But I did not know that I'm doing that as an exercise. Now I see things differently. Now, if you put a complex subject in front of me, I look at it differently. I will never study this school. So this is where like take school as if it's a gym for your brain, but you have to continue learning. And one of them is read about
how to invest.
Read about compounding.
Yes.
Read about financial freedom.
Yeah. What does financial freedom give? Why do we need financial freedom?
In order to focus on the things that really matters to you.
Right.
A lot of people, they say that money gives you options. If you have sufficient amount of money, and this number varies from someone to someone, you have the freedom of like, now what do I want to do? Let
me tell you what financial freedom means to me. Risk management. We are in a generation. I had a conversation with my dad 2 days ago. I was saying to him, I said, you worked for 40 something years for the same company.
Okay.
And you have a pension now that is some people's salary, right?
Okay.
And benefits that some companies don't even give today. Now look at our generation and look at the types of jobs that are now available. Everything from working for yourself to freelancing to very ad hoc type roles. And then even those that are still in sort of big companies. The risk of cyclical nature of industries means our generation faces more layoffs, some driven by technology, some driven by collapses and bubbles, whether financial or technology driven, as we have seen over the last decade, if not more. And so financial freedom helps you manage the anxiety of navigating these cycles, which we are now facing as a generation. My dad has no clue what it is to be in a company where they're letting people go every couple of years and wondering if your name's on the list because your entire department's been removed. Yeah. Now, here comes AI and people worried about what AI will do to their jobs. I'm not trying to jump on any bandwagon, but I'm just trying to simply say that financial freedom, I'm such an advocate for it because it helps to manage risk because we're in a different time as a generation.
I totally agree with you. Again, like when you have a family, kids, the only, at least for me, the only subject that I have in mind is can I cover their expenses until they are strong enough to be self-independent? Like that, I forecast like 25 years from now.
Sure.
So that is financial freedom for me. Like if I can cover all of that, actually sometimes I'm planning for like their grandkids, but that's a little bit too much.
Sure.
Each one of my kids have their own investment account.
Sure.
And my son, he's 5 years old. His investment account crossed 350%
Wow.
profit percentage-wise from the time he was born until today.
To now.
Me and my wife, we agreed that we don't want to buy them gifts, toys.
Sure.
On their birthdays. We will buy them shares.
Amazing.
And we pool some money there. If that forecast continues as we planned, and it is so far, by the time he understands the value of money, and our plan, hopefully he will not see this podcast, but our plan is not to tell him about it until we test that he knows the value of money.
Sure.
Because we all went through it. Like we are teenagers. We don't have that value of money. I got it when I crossed 30. Like I earned my first salary when I was like 21, but I did not actually have the value of money until I'm 30. I was spending left, right, and center. Like do this, do that, buy this shop, buy that shop. Okay, fine. I lost like 100K. It's fine. Next. But that was not right. Until I'm 30, it's like, listen, and $1 you save is $1 you earn.
Yes.
So this is where like, no, I was like, this is serious. If I kept the same behavior, I will never build any wealth. So this is where like for my kids, I opened a stock account for them or an investment account with a mutual fund. And we are capitalizing on it. The plan is not to tell them about it until we sense that feeling. If they have value of money, it's like, come my son, I kept this money. This is your money, not mine.
But that's a mindset. That's because you believe that that decision you've made will create value for you. There are people who are afraid of the stock market. I mean, I've heard this, who think, what if I put my money and I lose? Because we know that investments go up and down.
Okay, I will make a bold statement.
Please.
Okay. I will prove it to you by math. If you follow those 3 rules.
But it's a long horizon.
No. Hear me out. The fear of losing is... It's built in our society. I'm not sure intentionally or not, but would you think that you care about your $100 more than Apple caring about their company to succeed? Be honest.
That's a good one.
Okay, so how are you afraid that your $100 in your bank is more safe than $100 with Apple? There is 160,000 employees working day and night to make the company successful.
Sure.
Now, the only chance for you to lose that $100 is if Apple value goes to 0. What's that? When will that happen? It might. I'm not saying no. I love Apple, but we have seen companies that went through this experience. However, for me, I see like it is the $100 is more, it's safer with Apple rather than in the bank account. If you start thinking this way, you will realize that keeping your money in the bank is actually riskier. Given the fact that you follow rule number 2, always use your money, never use money that's not yours, and money that is not yours have multiple names. Let me tell you the 3 rules. If you follow them in the stock market, I can tell you that you will realize that you should never lose. Rule number 1, put your money with the companies that the earth will be disturbed if they disappeared. I'm not a financial it's not a financial advice. It's just like it's logical. First, rule number 1, if the earth will be disturbed, if this company disappeared, this is the company you will put your money with. Can you name few?
I don't want to bias our guests, so yes.
I can name like 15, 20.
Sure.
And all of us are like
But you're saying it's
within the
companies that are
ecosystem
the core of the economy, and that can change over
of
time.
the world.
That can change over time.
That
yes.
can change over
So you
time.
should be specific about what you invest in.
I asked this question to a Chinese person. He gave me like 10 list of companies that I've never heard of.
Sure.
I told him like the word, not China.
Yeah.
Because in China they have a copy of all the companies that we work with.
What was valuable in our parents' time, the 10 companies is not the 10 companies now. So you have to keep reassessing your portfolio.
Exactly.
But your point is,
so
at any given time, your portfolio should be based on the critical companies.
So rule number 1, every year, relook at your portfolio.
Absolutely, yeah.
Does rule number 1 still stand?
Yes. And
is
then if
this
not,
company,
move your
if
investments.
not, move it. So
Absolutely.
you have enough time. There is this kind of like seconds or minutes, it's not there. You have enough time. So rule number 1, companies that the universe does not rotate without. Rule number 2, always invest your money. Don't borrow money. And that have multiple names like lots, financial vehicles, margins, multiples. It's named differently, but it is not your money. If you borrow, you will go bankrupt. And I can prove it with you with math.
Okay.
Rule number 3, always invest, because you are not buying because the price is low. You are buying because the company is good.
Sure.
Always focus on the value. Don't focus on, the price is going down.
Yes, yeah.
And never sell. Don't be under the news saying like, there is a economy crisis or the price went down.
You panic sell and sell at a low point.
Exactly.
Then buy again at a high point.
Listen, for 2 years, the market was going down and I'm buying. My wife wanted to like, you're crazy. Like, don't do that. And for 2 years, I'm like, just buying. It requires a lot of strength, by the way.
That's the commitment, yes.
That's the commitment. Because the company is good. Rule number 1, the universe will not rotate without it.
Sure.
It will be disturbed. So those three rules, follow them. You are in good hands.
Okay. Let's move away from stock, because stock is not the only thing, as we said. There's some people who are very good at, with their bonus, they buy a small property. That property immediately has an income vehicle.
Works
after
the same
all
way.
their costs, it creates income. Now, the point is not to then take the income and spend it and then go buying, a new lifestyle. The point is, when you create that income should also somehow be invested somewhere and captured for future value. You say your obsession is making sure you can provide for your kids. I'll add another obsession to that. I think we all should be obsessed about what happens to us as we get older.
True.
Because you can say that you are saving to be able to provide to your kids, have their own independence, to create value for themselves as working adults or functioning adults. But we should also think about, as we are either unable to work or, looking to do other passion projects, that the amount of years we spent working should somehow give us that freedom and the benefits to actually put our energy towards other things. And this is now the real other second definition of financial freedom for self, right? And so when you look at those two things, to actually think stock is the only way is not true.
No.
I know you also are a firm believer in real estate, as I am.
My wife is, not me, but
okay, all right.
We form a team, so I have to be
as
like
a unit,
50-50,
yes. But there's some people who are also passionate about project investment or investing in companies, startups, for example, looking at companies that can IPO or projects that are cutting edge of technology that will then sell for bigger value. And we know that generation that has happened in our time, whether through technology and now even in some cases, renewable energy projects is another one. There are multiple vehicles.
True. But I define myself, I'm too small to get into the IPOs. Again, go back to the 3 rules. I will not invest in a potential a company to be valuable. I would invest in a company that
It's already valuable.
It's already valuable.
So you don't follow trends.
Too small.
You don't follow. I like that, actually.
Yes.
I think one of Warren Buffett's rules is only invest in what you understand.
Yes, if you say it this way.
Yes.
And it's not that complex.
Interesting.
Actually, like a pattern I found with every person I show him the compounding, they say it's too easy or too simple. Why aren't everybody around us doing that?
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, I did not have an answer until like multiple years repeating that. If I say like I presented the same content to let's say 50 or
Sure.
An amount of people who I care about, like maybe 5 of them actually implemented. So this is why not everybody around us are doing it, because a lot of people are afraid, skeptical. A lot of them, they don't take the first step.
Yes.
But those who actually did it, and we have a WhatsApp group, like we have a lot of fun, seriously. And they are all like, oh, thank you, Sinan. Yes, like, okay,
yeah, absolutely.
good job.
Yeah, because you get to a point where the returns or the dividends that you're getting from your investment actually sometimes is, if not more than your salary.
It is.
But I'm still a big advocate. Do not adjust your lifestyle, because if you go from a home that is double the cost of your current home, a car that is double the cost of your current car, holidays and lifestyle that's double, then you actually now start eating into your own gains. And I'm so passionate about this lifestyle adjustment.
You know, lifestyle is the key component of destroying your financial model. Always go like 1 notch or 2 notch below your means. Like if you earn X, spend 2 notch below that.
Sure.
A lot of people around us, they spend, if they earn X, they spend X, or they earn X and they spend 2X. I mean, like, and then they start saying, why I'm not growing? Because of your model.
Because of the lifestyle, yeah.
Because of the lifestyle.
Probably because you may be making good choices with your money. You know what? I have to talk about this. As women, and obviously CME is an organization for both male and female talent, but we are passionate about helping women. So as women, one of the things that we realize is we're not taught how to say no. Okay. Good. And that's because somehow there's this feeling growing up as girls that we're supposed to be helpful, we're core to the family, we're supposed to, sort of be there to support people. And it wasn't until I got into my 30s that I learned this concept of how to say no, how to decline things, right? And it didn't have to be a sharp no. It was, I can't do this today. I'm sorry, I cannot join this event right now. But here's the other thing that I want to make sure we leave guests with. There's almost a feeling that we also don't know how to tell people when we can't do something because financially we don't want to. For example, you should say before going out to lunch, yes, I'd love to join you for lunch, but my budget is X.
Yeah.
And don't be ashamed of it.
No.
It doesn't even mean that you're broke. It means that you are financially clever. If you are saving and that is your saving plan and your budget for lunch is 100 dirhams, tell your friends that's my budget. Otherwise, I'm not joining that restaurant.
Yeah.
The other one is I can't come out right now because I'm working on buying a property, or I'm working on making some big investments, so I'm working on a business plan. So while that sounds great, why don't I join you guys another day? Or can we have lunch at someone's house and all pull together and bring something? I remember sort of early on getting to restaurants and that awkwardness of who's supposed to pay. Even just saying, look, guys, make sure everyone covers their lunch. There shouldn't be one person paying or covering things for the friends. But it comes from that place of awkwardness. We haven't taught people how to say, no, I'm not coming. No, I can't. No, I can't afford it. That sounds great. I remember a friend of mine even saying, let's go on holiday. But if we do go on holiday, this is where I'd like to stay because this is within my budget. And anything else, you can go ahead, but I just won't be able to join. I remember thinking, wow, that was so articulately said without any malice, but it protected her decision in terms of how she wanted to manage her money. And so I think these are even very simple mentoring points when we talk about lifestyle. Like, if everyone is moving to this fancy part of town, why do you have to move to that fancy part of town? Everyone is driving this sort of fancy car. Why do you have to drive that fancy car? Because somehow with social media and advertising, that is the lifestyle that we sell people. I'm not so sure how many adverts we see about financial freedom and investing to compound. They're more of glamour lifestyle than there is of practical reasons to create financial independence and financial freedom. But I mean, these are just things that I'm personally passionate about.
Listen, you've touched on multiple important points, and to answer you in short, Eghosa, if you don't do it yourself, nobody will do it.
Absolutely.
So it's your personal decision.
Yeah.
Social pressure is there.
Yes, absolutely.
You have to go through it.
Yeah.
Nobody will come and give you like that lottery ticket in order for you to become a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know my wife. When we got married, we started below zero. Okay, I did not disclose it before, but we started below zero.
Yes.
At that time, I had this like I should not look cheap in front of her, whatever. Like we're still, we got married. Like I knew her after 4 months, and we are married. So like we are still like in that relationship of being engaged, but we are actually married.
Yes.
I told her like, listen, do whatever you want, spend the way you want. I just want to understand.
Wow.
I'm gonna just control. Not control the spending. I just want to understand the pattern. We started with a 1-bedroom apartment up until like we had our first kid, and then we start expanding. And now I bought my house, a standalone villa. And at that time, we have friends who started their life the same way we started. They had a push from their parents. We did not. They started in a more, like you said, under pressure. We are the same background, same everything, same salaries at that time. They started the 2-bedroom apartment in a posh area, designed like the furniture took them like 6 months to like get this piece from there, this piece custom. I want this chandelier. So they made their dream house day one. I was like, come on, you're not meant to be. You should not start luxury. You should reach there. After 10 years or 9 years, we used to talk like, you really don't need to spend that much. We are still like youngsters, so don't save it for the later. Now they tell us like, now we understand. Well, like the story changed. We own our house. They are making their living. It's just that it is. The decision is with your hands. If you don't do it, nobody will.
else will do it. I was on Instagram. I love Instagram for different reasons, but I love some of the quotes. I was reading somewhere that says you should invest and create wealth so that if you find yourself in a situation that you don't like, you can walk away. Because there are a lot of people who are in jobs and situations they cannot leave because they are bound either to that dollar that they get or that situation that they get. If you decide you want to explore the world and go to a different country, if you've made better financial decisions and you've created some financial independence for yourself and built wealth, you find that you're able to have the freedom of choices as the years go on, right? And there's a peace of mind beyond anything, beyond glamour. There's a peace of mind that comes with knowing you can provide for yourself and your children and your family the basic necessities, okay? And you can do that for time to come. That peace of mind, nothing can buy that peace of mind.
True.
Because to remain in constant anxiety about your next month's salary and what will happen to your job next month or next year robs you of a peace of mind that actually, if you replace that with better decision making at the start, anybody would go back and make better decisions from the start.
Eghosa, I think both of us are on the same page, but we are doing the same mistake that I was. How to say it? We are saying words that might not translate to action to the audience.
This is true.
Okay,
that's true.
I understand. You understand. But I was an audience at a point in time
saying, "Go, that podcast is great, but what do I do?
What do I do?
What should I do?
Exactly.
I was like that before. I used to get very irritated with these financial meetings.
It's all cliche.
Yeah,
like it's all nice. Okay.
Yeah, but what do I do?
What do I do?
But I like how you say you sit with people, you show them where to log in, what account to do, how to do it, what Excel sheet to calculate. Even some of these books, I'm sorry, all this Rich Dad, Poor Dad. When I finish, I'm like, okay, which account should I
do?
Yeah. Where should I go? Which mutual fund? What stock? Because there are people who want to, but they don't have. Anyway,
Coaching.
Look, the answer is go to see me. Click on Sinan's name and ask for half hour. He'll tell you exactly what to do.
I wish I can say it now. I mean, but I need Excel sheet. I need to sit with you, and each person financial situation is different.
Of course.
And some people, $100 is a decent amount. I sat with people like 500,000 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, that's a different league. but the same equation works.
Absolutely.
It's just the mindset.
Okay, let's talk about financial advisors. There are people who are afraid. You're talking about helping a friend. There are people who are afraid of people saying, let me manage your money for you and I'll take 10% every year.
Don't do that. I mean, like...
Teach yourself.
Exactly. And unless you don't have the time and you want to hire somebody in order to do it for you, but that's different model.
That's a different league. Yes.
That's a different league. What I'm talking about is the way of looking at your financial life. Like you should own it. Even if you hire somebody, you should tell that somebody what to do. It's not the other way around. You can get advices, okay, but you have to take the final decision. In my situation, I found like 4 or 5 vehicles that works in a compounding way. I could not find the 6th.
Sure.
Okay, I can do 3. The last 2 I'm not capable for. Stocks works in a compounding. I'm big advocate of stocks because it's easy to liquidate. The potential of growth is humongous,
right?
Like 4 or 5 times more than real estate. So first vehicle is stocks. Open an account, invest in the companies, the 3 rules I mentioned just 5 minutes ago. Second one is mutual funds. If you don't want to select an individual stock, fine. There are mutual funds.
Basket of funds, yeah.
Basket of funds. You put your money in there and they will invest it. And boy, like there are 4 ways of making money in the mutual fund. Select an index one and you will not regret it. The third one, real estate. In Dubai or anywhere around the world, focus on getting some cash flow into the real estate and don't pay it like upfront. It's a different way of looking at it, but like just pay the least amount of a down payment, make their rent cover your mortgage. And those things that might sound obvious to you, and but you have to search for that, and they exist.
Yes.
By the way, I sat with someone who is 26 years old. Okay. I told him like I'm investing in Dubai, but I want to invest in US because of the distance. I can't travel there, and he's in US. Like I told him like if I were in your shoes in US, I will do the following: 1, 2, 3. That was May last year. The guy is so energetic. He bought 6 houses.
Wow.
He's 26 years old. Okay.
Wow.
He bought 6 houses. We stayed in touch. He is visiting now. He visited me in my house a few days ago. And his target, he's married. His target is to get $25,000 passive income. Okay, passive income before he have his first kid. I told him like, why so long? He said, what, 2 years? I'll get it. Like now he's making $5,000 out of those 6 houses passive. His down payment was so little because he started reading. He found the government in US, they support him. So you have to start reading wherever you are. Like
but you don't have to solve it all yourself. Last week I had someone who I went to MBA school with, who was actually quite a good investor, and he was in town. We met for dinner, my family with his family, and we're talking about what we're both doing, right? And he was saying, look, we should talk more often because we can ask each other for advice. If you don't know, again, the answer to today's podcast is go and take a mentoring session with Sinan for half an hour. He can give you practical. We don't want to sell a particular stock account or seem like we're biased, but you can definitely tell people, where to, what sort of companies to use, what banks to use, and how to do it. But ask your friends who are making good returns, and people can tell you. If you decide to go into real estate, ask questions, do your research, because I think it's such a daunting area to go into. You have someone at home saying, okay, sure, I want to invest. Sure, I want to change my lifestyle. I want to change my mindset. I want to create wealth. But how do I do it? And the how is simply getting someone to sit with you and walking you through the steps of the calculations, what compounding means, how you should set your goals, and at what point do you say you've reached financial freedom?
Very, very true. I mean, at a point in my life, I was like that adamant to succeed by myself. Like now, I was
grinding.
Like, why?
Grinding.
Yeah, I was like raised this way.
Yeah.
But then now I understood, like, no, why? If you want to build your life in a way, just look around you. There is 7 billion people around you.
Yeah.
Find that person who whose lifestyle
Yes.
actually aspires you. I want to, after 10 years, to be like that man.
Yeah, yes.
And go ask him a question.
I remember
how did you
one
do
boss
that?
I worked for, the first year I started working, he said, Eghosa, have you thought about what you're going to do with your salary? I thought, live my life, travel, go on holiday with my friends, buy things. He said, no, I have 19 houses, and the income from the 19 houses, I still save the money today, he said to me, but that money is more than my salary. So therefore, when I retire, my salary stops coming. That will be my salary. And I thought to myself, wow, I said, I've been planning this all my life, right? And so having people like that, when you notice someone is willing to advise you, that's who you should say, by the way, can we sit down to look at I mean, he's my boss. At that time, he knows what I'm earning, and I can show you what I'm doing with my money, and you can advise me. I think that's a very simple example. Otherwise, come to see me, certainly, and book a session with Sinan. But the other thing I do also want to mention as we're, sort of closing up, and I hope people have enjoyed listening to us go back and forth, is we debated this before the podcast started. There is something about our generation. Again, another Instagram quote. I wish my parents had taught me generational wealth, not how to grind. Because it's almost like we became proud in our time about getting to work at 6, coming home at 8 p.m. There's a guy who's like, I can go in for 3 hours and achieve the same thing.
Even more.
And we used to think, that person is lazy. They don't work hard. It's the same way we actually treat our money. We feel like we have to grind. I want to work hard, then spend, then work even harder, then spend more, then work even harder. We almost love the grind. What we're telling people is there's an easy way to just be the guy who wakes up at 9 and walks his dog, goes to the gym, because your money has worked so hard for you that you've created the freedom to live a more relaxed lifestyle than what we do. Again, very privileged conversations. I appreciate that there's so much going on in the world. There are people living in areas that are completely challenged, out of their control. And we are even lucky to be having this conversation, to be in jobs where we can earn and save. So I don't take that for granted. And that comes really from my heart. But we're catering to an area where we live, where people have to think about how they invest and create that financial freedom, especially even more so in honor of those who are robbed of the opportunity to do so. So you talked about your grinding phase, and I know you went through loving grinding, and now grinding is no longer your thing.
Well, I know I will always do it. I'm raised while doing it. It's just that do it if you love it.
The one thing we didn't talk about is risk-taking, because it's okay. Some people save, they do very well with their money, and then they decide that they're going to take that money and create a business, for example, or create risk to create more value.
Listen,
talk about that.
Yes. The definition of risk changed over time for me.
Okay.
I thought risk is risk losing the money. It's absolutely wrong.
Okay.
When you invest, the risk is not losing the money, is how much time. It's time.
Oh, wow.
So how much time you can live without this money.
Interesting.
Okay. Think about it this way. Whatever financial crisis happens, over time it's recovered.
Okay.
And I'm talking about like 100 something years ago.
Okay.
Look at the entire spectrum. Whatever financial crisis that happened, now we are like 10 times beyond that. So the risk is not that you will lose the money. The risk is how much time you can live your life without the money you have invested. Is it 1 year? That means you can take a risk of 1 year. And we are all young. So you can take a lot of risk. I don't need the money now. In 20 years, I need it. When you are like close to the retirement age, okay, be a risk averse. Why? It's not like you will lose the money. It's just like, I cannot really, I want the money now. Like I want to spend now. So there, take a different strategy, less riskier, go into like bonds but now I don't mind 10 years. I don't need the money. 15, it's fine. It's going to recover. Actually buy more. I told you 2 years and I'm buying.
Yeah.
I can take 2 years of risk. But it's never about losing the money. If you follow the 3 rules.
So what would you say to the ladies who had no stock account?
Open one.
Where? How?
Listen, go online. NASDAQ, we all know NASDAQ. Just say NASDAQ recommended agents. So NASDAQ, they have a page. They recommend agents. Try to open accounts with them. If you could not, for a reason or another, I'll be surprised first. Second, find local investors, but be careful. This path is full of people like scammers.
Yes,
Be careful.
You hear people getting scammed.
I
all the
was
time.
scammed.
Wow.
I was
didn't know
scammed.
that. You haven't told me that.
$6,000.
You haven't told me this story.
1 year it took me to open my stock account. I explored everything. Nobody taught me. I was like self-taught.
Wow.
Until I opened and I learned. Then I told my mentor, do you know anything about that? Then my mentor said like, yes. I gave him an eye. But I went through all of it. It's just that it's full of scammers. So be careful. Just go with the big names, reputable.
It's been an honor, Dr. Sinan, having
Honor
you
is
here.
mine.
I feel like we didn't talk about everything. There's so much more we could have covered.
I don't believe an hour have passed. Like I think like 10 minutes.
Yes,
yeah.
And
I really want to cover so much
but
more.
I say this with all my guests, but that's exactly where the mentoring platform is there. If you love what we discuss, you think you want to hear more, you'll be online, you'll give some of your time away. Thank you so much for your generosity, and people could connect with you and spend time with you and get to learn from you.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
much.
hosting me.
Any day. Please come back. Well, that's it, guys. We look forward to seeing you on the next Empowerment Exchange podcast. And please do definitely join our CME membership and spend time with our mentors. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you.